Good morning. Hope you're well. I am well. Thank you for allowing me to be part of your day whenever you are viewing this. It's a rainy day in my world right now. It's been rainy like for 10 days. So everything's saturated, but luscious and green. Hi, I'm Casey Durango of Go Keto with Casey, where I talk about how I lost 97.4 pounds after starting the ketogenic protocol, how you may be able to lose weight, improve your health, and regain control of your life like I did. If someone can let me know if you can see and hear me. By the way, if you find that your screen freezes, just refresh the screen. That happens. Thank you, Scott. That happens. Just refresh your screen. All right. I want to talk today about a topic that it all comes down to the food we eat, right? Or the food we don't eat. Many of us want to be told exactly what to eat, how much to eat, when to not eat, what combinations of foods to eat. Oh, and there's Jack in the background. Thank you. Kimberly says, yes, I can see and hear you. And that's understandable. For 60 or 70 years, when it came to be that, okay, now we're going to prescribe what everyone should eat and focus on vitamins and minerals and low fat and all that stuff. Of course, we started eating low fat, and then as a culture, we got heavier and heavier. Because if you take out the fat, you can put in the carbs. That's the way it works for food manufacturers. So it's understandable. When I started it was obvious to people around me that I was losing weight. Now, quick history. Many of you probably already know this if you've heard me at all. I had given up on losing weight. I had been obese and morbidly obese for 30 years, from my mid-20s to my mid-50s. Tried it all. You can go to my blog, CaseyDurango.com, and see some photographs, even me in triathlon gear. Ugh. Trying to move more, eat less, and eat low fat. But when I started this, I had given up on the weight loss. I didn't want to take insulin for type 2 diabetes. I Googled how to not take insulin for type 2 diabetes, came across the White Coat video of Dr. Eric Westman of Duke University, and I just laid off the carbs after that. I just did. And then I started feeling better pretty well. Last week I was doing this, and my husband texted me from Colombia on my watch. So I want to make sure everything's okay. That was really weird. I'm doing my live stream, and on my watch, I get a message from my husband who's in Colombia, South America, watching the live stream, saying people are saying their screens are frozen. Okay. When it became apparent that I was losing weight, and I was also feeling better, and people around me, what are you eating? And so I would tell them, oh, what about, and the normal stuff, aren't you worried about all that fat? Well, it's not all that fat. I just eat the fat that comes with the protein, right? The yolks with the eggs, etc. And then people really wanted to know what I was eating, so I would share with them. Now, back in the day when I started this, I eat a lot more food than I do now. Why? Because I was about 100 pounds heavier, and lugging all that around took energy. But I was also 11 years younger. I require less fuel now. But what do we eat around here in our house? You guys need to do whatever works for you. And if you have to, experiment or tweak or something, just, lay off the carbs, keep the carbs low, 20 grams or fewer, total, not net. We have both, my husband and my husband has never had a weight issue. But for health and other considerations, he saw what was happening with me. He heard the same medical presentations that I did because I would have them on the computer. So he started laying off the carbs. Well, he's also older. So we both eat less than we used to. He eats more than I. He requires more than I do. But we've kind of pared things down. We still eat poultry, eggs, beef, steak, pork belly, pork chops, sausages, bacon. What else do we eat? Lamb, beef liver, very nutritious, nutrient-dense food. We have kind of pared away from eating so many vegetables. For those of you who don't know, the protocol is keep your carbs 20 grams or fewer a day, total, not net. Net carbs is just more carbs. If it's not on page 4, don't eat it, but you don't even need a food list. Again, it's fatty sources of protein, limited amounts of non-starchy vegetables, limited amounts of full-fat dairy. But then the next part, hardest one, most challenging, don't eat if you're not hungry. Stop eating when you've had enough. Now, this is challenging because even me now, today, these days, I'm surprised how little hunger I have and how much less food I need to satisfy that hunger. I am older. My body composition has changed. I am not, at one point I was doing pretty well, going to the gym and doing a total gym and all that stuff. And I have laxed away from that. I'm back in it, but not with the same intensity or hours devoted to it. I am getting back. I am reincorporating it. But I require less fuel. My husband requires less fuel. Even though he has a physically demanding job and his body composition is pretty good, but you require less. So we're not carnivore. Although if that works for you, that's fine. We like vegetables. We just don't eat many of them. Why? Because we require less fuel. So we're always going to default to eating fatty sources of protein first. And that's just leaving less and less room on the plate for anything else. Because the plates are getting smaller, if that makes sense. And they literally are getting smaller. We used to eat off of platters. It's called a bandeja. And it's the kind of platters that you get served in Mexican restaurants. We would eat off of those, and they'd be full of food. And then it went down to dinner plates. Then over time, it's gone to luncheon plates. And now mine's like a little bread plate, but no bread. So we eat fatty sources of protein. Some people, are truly confused. It's really the same food we always ate, just none of the carbs. We can have a roast, a ribeye, but not with the baked potato, not with steak fries. We can have burgers, just not with the buns. I'm sorry, someone is trying to contact me, and I want to make sure I can't see. I'm sorry. It's a bit intense, so I just want to make sure I'm not. Oh my goodness. Thank you. There are a couple of messages. Somebody wants to come buy some eggs. But thank you very much. There's a support button below, and someone has just clicked on it. So thank you very much. But we don't need to be confused. Certainly, we're not eating bread. We don't eat pretzels. I no longer eat tortilla chips. If it's on a shelf in a bag or a box, and even if it says keto friendly or keto certified or keto legal on the thing, it's probably not. Because to be shelf stable, it almost certainly has to have fillers, which are almost always carbohydrate. So look at the label, and there's no such thing as keto certified. There's no such thing. I mean, people say they will give you a keto coach certification for $150, but there is no such thing. So be careful. Save your money. What we eat, it has gone from, okay, when I first started this, I was like a kid in a bacon ranch store. Cheese omelets. Mid-morning, I'd have a hamburger patty. Not mid-morning. Midday, I'd have a hamburger patty with blue cheese on it. No bun. Then afternoon, I'd have a crustless pizza, just sprinkled shredded cheddar and shredded mozzarella and some pepperonis and put them under the broiler for 30 seconds and eat that. Then I'd have like a nice steak for dinner with more ranch. Very quickly, I couldn't eat that much food. It was too much. So I pared it down. What do I eat now? Well, we have chickens and we have a lot of eggs, and my husband's out of the country. So I'm not preparing the same kind of meals I was preparing when he's here. Even though, here's another thing. He had to get used. First of all, I had to get used to not eating just because I had prepared a plate of a dinner, whatever it was called, just because it smelled good. I didn't have to eat it. Then he had to get used to eating when I wasn't eating, even though I'd prepared the food and served it to him. These things we have to get used to. We have to incorporate new habits or just let go of some of the old ones. So I've been eating a lot of eggs, boiled eggs, scrambled eggs with a little bit of cream cheese folded into them. And for a while, I was having chicken breakfast links, 2 or 3 of those in the morning. But then yesterday morning, I said, I'm gonna have some bacon. So I cooked up 2 slices of bacon, but I burned them to literally a crisp. Jack wouldn't eat them. So I didn't cook more. So no, and I take it back. And then early evening, I cooked up in the air fryer chicken thigh, and I ate that. So I had like 2 eggs, a little bit of cream cheese, and a chicken thigh yesterday. That sounds like not enough food, but that's not the way I eat every day. That's the way it was yesterday. Today, I'll see. I'm a little bit peckish right now. I push the peckishness, and maybe I'll do the same thing. Maybe I'll just start off with the chicken thigh. I don't know. Listening to our hunger and letting go of our old eating habits. This is just it's almost everybody has to go through it. We have to let go of some of our belief systems and some of our habits. And then we have to just realize it's okay to change the way we're doing things. It's okay. It'll be all right. I am going to ask you guys to share maybe if your eating habits or the kinds of foods you've eaten have changed, or I don't need a lot of variety. I'm not someone who says I need a book of 365 keto recipes. I'm not going to cook 365 different things. Before keto, let's face it, most of us, if you're like our household, have like 4 or 5 rotations of meals. And 2 or 3 of those might be ordering out. So anyway, we eat the food we always ate. We just lay off the carbs. So we eat chicken thighs with the skin, but no breading. Oh, and it's so delicious. The chicken skin is the best part when it's all crispy. We eat, what is one of the unusual things we eat? We don't really eat stuff that's too unusual. It's page 4. Fatty sources of protein, a few non-starchy vegetables. I've cut back on the cheese, mostly because I didn't need it and I'm by myself and I don't need all that cheese. But that's limited as well. Just listen to your body, listen to your common sense, and let's not try to pretend that crackers and pretzels have any nutritional value. We don't need them, nor the breading that comes with a lot of things. For the most part, if it's beige, it's probably not good for you. Okay, I'm going to turn to you guys. So let's see. I'm going to have to increase this. So, yay, I made it, writes Nadja. Kimberly writes, have you ever tried mayak eggs? They're a Korean dish. Delicious. No, I've never heard of that. No. Interesting. Laughing at your burned bacon, writes Karen. My family calls burnt food mom's Callahan food. Yeah. Yep. I get distracted. It doesn't take any time at all to fry bacon in a cast iron skillet. By the way, I highly recommend cast iron skillets. And I cook, a lot of times I cook one dish. I had a whole series of videos I made, weekend food, and almost all of them, I just used one skillet. Threw the vegetables in. Oh, I'm into cheese now since I found your queso fresco. Okay. Queso fresco is something my husband has every morning. And it just means fresh cheese. It's farmer's cheese. Sometimes it'll be called farmer's cheese or just white cheese. And we get it here. We actually get it at Costco. And he has about 1.5 ounces of that every morning with 2 or 3, sometimes 4 scrambled eggs, 2 slices of bacon. He never burns his bacon, and a mug of coffee. Has the same thing when he's in Colombia. Cooks it all up. And it's a little tangy, a little different. It's not aged. That's one thing. It's fresh. And writes, I usually have 2 meals earlier in the day. I love chuck roast. Oh, yes, chuck roast. With the fat, eggs, bacon, pork, rind crusted chicken, and a little veg if I feel like it. Asparagus right now in season. It's perfect. And yeah, chuck roast. Another great thing about this way of eating, oh, I don't usually use that phrase, is that the sources of fatty proteins for us are the ones that are generally less expensive than the very lean ones. So a chuck roast, and put easy peasy, put it in a slow cooker or a Dutch oven on your cooktop or in your oven, whatever. A little salt, a little pepper, a little garlic. Chicken thighs are less expensive than boneless, skinless chicken breast, which I always think of as kind of a waste of a chicken. Yeah, the cheaper cuts of meat. You don't have to have fancy, super lean ground beef. No, you want some of that fat. So that sounds great, Ange. Kimberly writes, my eggs are hard-boiled eggs that are put into an Asian marinade. I will have to check it out. I always have to be careful with things like marinades and sauces and things like that, because very often they are not only can have added sugars in them, you have to be careful what's in there, but I'm very sensitive to sodium. So I have to be careful. And a lot of Asian food and a lot of Asian sauces are high in sodium. So I personally have to be careful with that, not because of hypertension, but just I blow up like a pufferfish. My patrons, and I have a private, let me do my commercial. You do not have to buy one thing to be 100% successful at this protocol, but I will happily sell you a sweatshirt or a t-shirt or a mug. I didn't bring my green book. I have my green journal, which you go to my blog, you'll see it in the sidebar and you can click and it takes you to Amazon. It's a 12-month journal. I'll happily do that. And I really appreciate those of you who click on and buy a mug or a sticker. So thank you. I also have a private support group at patreon.com where for $5 a month, you get 20 morning video snippets on various topics. I've just completed number 1929 of the video snippets. And there's a free week, a trial for a free week. So you can 7 days free trial. If you like it, you stay. If you don't, you won't. Thank you guys. Thanks patrons. But my patrons, what made me think of it, they know about I created a condition called idiopathic seasonal edema, and then I diagnosed myself with it. Ange writes, sometimes I wonder if I eat too much fat, but I love it. Well, this is not a high-fat diet. Keeping in mind that we want to burn body fat, and there are amino acids in fat and protein that we can't get, our bodies cannot produce those amino acids. So we need to eat them by mouth, whereas carbohydrate is not an essential macronutrient, and whatever carbohydrate creates in our bodies, glucose, our bodies can create gluconeogenesis. But fat and protein, we need to consume. But we want to burn body fat. Most of us do. So we don't need a lot. But, if it's working for you and you're feeling good, keep it up. Crispy chicken skin is one of my favorite foods, writes Kimberly. Yes. As I was eating, I peeled off the crispy chicken skin. And listen, I have an air fryer. It's a Ninja. It's a smaller one because it's just the two of us. And I resisted getting an air fryer for years. Man. So I just get the chicken thigh, little salt, little pepper, little garlic, preheat the air fryer, pop it in there. I cook it low, like 300 degrees for about 8 minutes, more if it's more than one chicken thigh in there. And then cook it for another 5 minutes at 350. And then I pop it in for 400 degrees for 2 minutes. And it crisps up. It's cooked all the way to the bone. Anyway, so I peeled off the skin, put it to the side. It was like dessert. Highly recommend the air fryer. I highly recommend the Braun, I have the Braun Multi 5, I think it's called, a stick blender. I chop up things with that. When I make smoothies, I use that. Use it for a lot of stuff. Oh, and I use it to to pulverize or do up Jack's food right there in the stock pot. I have the chicken thighs simmering, and I've made a video about it, so I won't talk too much more about it. But I just use the stick blender, and it chops up the bones that I've let simmer and everything. Thinking about food. I don't think much about food anymore. And when I say that I had to start learning to do other things with my brain. Have any of you experienced, wait a minute, now that I'm not thinking about food all the time, I've got all this brain space. This is one of the great features of this protocol is it reduces hunger, it reduces appetite, and you can go on without thinking about food. But the habit stuff, the habit thing, we have to be comfortable with not eating if we're not hungry. Barring any underlying medical condition that is impeding your hunger and appetite, if you're not hungry, don't eat. It'll be okay. If you Google right now, how much should I'm 67, dang. I'm 67 and I'm 5'1". If you Googled how much should a 67-year-old 5'1" woman eat, they're going to say at least probably 1,000 or 1,200 calories. What? No. If I ate 1,000, 1,200 calories a day, I would put weight on. So we can't normalize for everyone the requirements based on one person or one subgroup of people. Eat the food you've always eaten, just lay off the carbs. And the carbs are anything, you know, limited amounts of non-starchy vegetables, about a cup, and 2 cups of leafy greens maximum will get you to about 10 or 12 carbs. The rest of the stuff, any corn, wheat, sugar product, rye, any grain or something derived from grain, for me, it's not going to work. I tried it for decades. Didn't work for me. It made me think about food all the time. I was always hungry. My brain was always calling for more glucose. That's a whole other thing. So let's get used to eating less food if you require less. Now, if you are a younger person and you're gearing up every month to host a human, possibly, then you're going to have different requirements than I do. Nope. That's all past me. Excuse me. Excuse me. So the food doesn't have to be confusing. If you have a copy of the original Atkins, it's just the induction period of Atkins. That's what the food is. Fatty sources of protein, non-starchy vegetables, full fat dairy in limited amounts. And then go from there and then listen to your hunger. I beg your pardon. I think I swallowed a bug. Now, I'll be traveling to South America for a couple of weeks. I have had no problem finding exactly what I need and avoiding what I have to not eat. It's easier actually there than it is here sometimes because there's lots and lots of nice meat that's available, all sorts. Karen writes, I really love page 4 foods, and the instructions for limiting cheese veggies are perfect. So easy. Tis. Food is not the boss of me. I've got a mug that reads that. If you're watching this on replay on YouTube, I have a link to my spread shop shelf, and there's, food is not the boss of me. This is the triumph. And writes, I find if I eat a good sized meal with that, it keeps me very satiated and I don't think about food or wanting something sweet. Obo been keto for 2.5 years. So sometimes the sweets still come to mind. Oh, things come to my mind. Oh, of course they do. But I just don't act on the fact that, yeah, that would be lovely to be able to eat a giant tub of buttery popcorn. It would be lovely. I'd like it. And I can. By the way, I can eat that. People say, what can you eat?" I said, "I can eat anything I want. I'm a grown woman. I can eat, and I'm allowed to eat anything I want because I make those decisions. But I decide to not deal with the consequences of some of the foods that I know just don't serve me well. So it's not a matter of what I can or cannot eat. It's just dealing with the consequences. So I think, about that'd be nice. Oh well, not worth it. Nadja writes, "I am working hard on getting back on track after having been in Europe for 6 weeks." Ooh, exciting. By the way, it was great to see you. It was great to see you and Dr. Westman again. What? I haven't seen Dr. Westman in ages. By the way, it was great to see you and Dr. Westman again. Maybe you're thinking of someone else, Nadja. Interesting. Maybe an old video came up because we used to do online things and I posted them on YouTube. We haven't done that in a while. So, this is the other thing. Instead of looking at this as a restricted way of eating, look at all the things that are on page 4, including things like cream cheese and poultry with the skin and luscious oily fish. Things that we may be, instead of tuna packed in water, just take the tuna. And that's cool that you were in Europe. Almost every part of the world, in my opinion, Your Honor, we can find the foods that serve us and we can avoid the ones that don't. Even if we're surrounded by foods that don't serve us. Frankly, we're surrounded by foods here. We don't have to go to Europe or South America or Asia to be surrounded by foods that don't serve us well. You can stand in the middle of a large intersection of a city and there will be a KFC, a Taco Bell, a Starbucks selling, lattes that have 36 grams of carbohydrate, and a Krispy Kreme on the four corners. We are surrounded by food. But I'm glad you're getting back on track. I am happy that you guys showed up. I appreciate you allowing me to be part of your day. And if you feel like checking out my Patreon, it's just patreon.com/go keto with Casey, or backwards. I don't. And God willing, if the creek don't rise, and it might rise because it's been raining for 10 days, I will see you next Saturday. Same place, same time, or on replay. It's all good. Remember, keep your carbs 20 grams or fewer, total not net. If it's not on page 4, link below. Don't eat it. Don't eat if you're not hungry. Stop eating when you've had enough. And I will see you next time. Thanks.